Everyone, Link here, back with the final game of JinLair PinkWings versus Knights of Ren. And we're somehow, someway, with all the cringe and all the bad plays on both sides, going to the ace match. I most definitely did not see this coming. And we're gonna have two of some of the best. So Kyojin's actually, I thought he was Terran Zerg, but apparently he's Protoss, and he's actually one of the best. He's also kind of up there in probably like the top 10 of best minor league players. I don't think he's quite on the level of Warhawk, Jaded Shard, Heroku, but he's close. But yeah, in this series, me and Draz are kind of similar. Draz sees two cannon rushers fail because Heroku goes 13 pool, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to face him, please." Me, I'm just like, cannon rusher, Zerg, Zerg. Yeah, please no. I mean, if need be, I could have gone proxy racks into TVP, which could have gone well for me, but we're facing Kyojin here. Although, to be fair, if he is higher MMR and he's a good player, it's very possible he might actually do Nexus before Cyber. And if that's the case, I could just flat out kill him with Mass Reaper. Because the higher up you go in League, the more you do, the more players, the more Process I see do Nexus before Cyber. And my build is pretty much a complete counter to that. Because you're not able to get enough units out in time to be able to defend versus Reapers. Because 3 Reapers actually beat a Stalker with just like gold level micro and above. Like all you gotta do is just pull like 1 Reaper back, throw 1 grenade down, and at that point you can just stop clicking at anything for like 2 seconds and you're still fine. Let me just double check that I'm recording. This is probably gonna make the video look really weird. Hey, if I'm recording. It's possible that Heroku or some of the rest of my members on my team might get a little pissed that I said I don't like TVZ, even though we're not going to be facing these guys for like another like few months or so, and it's possible my TVZ could get quite a bit better at that point, especially since I'm testing on a new build. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference though. But in the bottom right, representing our team, we got Warhawk. In the top left, another one of the best minor league players. We got TheKyojin. Hey, he told us it as well, and he managed to convince his parents. So, Gateway Scout. Good scout timing. Oop. Getting some lag. Some lag. Muck. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm pretty certain that's France. I don't know where Warhawk's from, though. Yes, they're asking to switch servers possibly to cause less lag. But so far, Warhawk seems okay with it. That seems kind of odd to me because not gonna be able to see lag, but yeah, I mean, I feel like if you do have like a bunch of lag to the point where it's a big problem, I would be like, I'm not gonna play unless I can switch servers type of thing. But if there's a small bit of lag to the point where you can deal with it, I feel like you just kind of wouldn't ask in the first place. But it's possible he might just not have that much lag. And yeah, he's gonna go Nexus before Cyber here. Ephemeron, not too good of a map for the Reaper build, but when you're going Mass Reaper against one gateway, it doesn't matter. He too many yeah, too many Protosses do that. You actually have to really make sure that you don't just randomly click the button. You have to make sure you're on this side and then click the button. Because here he's actually, yeah, yeah, he's actually stuck his probe. Because I mean, it's either keep that probe from mining or cancel your cyber and then make another cyber, which usually you would think, being one probe, just basically killing one of your own probes is really bad, but not as bad as delaying your cyber unnecessarily. So, yeah. He's going to end up chronoing an Adept here. Now, Adepts are actually better. Believe it or not, Adepts are actually surprisingly better against Reapers, because even though they attack very slowly, they do quite a lot of damage, which isn't actually a factor as Reapers. Yeah, he's not going to be able to run away, given the wall. Yeah, Warhawk. Okay. Yeah, what Warhawk's doing is kind of a misplay. He is going to be able to get around. That was kind of a bit of a mind game, which I kind of like, but I feel like it was kind of unnecessary. I feel like you could have just gone around the other way. I mean, he knows either way that this Adept's going to die. I mean, a bit of a mistake there. He moved command, but his initial click was an attack, which I think he probably didn't realize. So yeah, CC done. And because his opponents went Nexus first, he's going to be very much ahead economically. He didn't see the Robo either. I would have loved him to see him not even go around, but just go back over here. He's going to scout for a Proxiate, which is kind of smart given the fact that he saw nothing. It's just that there is something he just thought it was behind here when there's nothing here. It's understandable if there's a pylon there, but you should just move command like to the pylon, where in this case there's only one pylon, which is there. And did he actually see the second pylon? He did. Oh, okay, apparently that Adept didn't do that good of a job. Killing... Actually, I'm not even certain if it killed one worker. I feel like it might have been across the map, but I think that was over here. He killed a worker and almost lost the Adept, but didn't lose the Adept. Warp Prism Robo Bay before... Actually, no, 2 extra gates just before the Robo Bay. But, unless you're going to be doing something crazy, you definitely don't build Robo Bay until you've got like 5-6 gates or so. So this is kind of interesting. And a pylon over here to look out for drops, and no third base in sight. So a very quick Robo with no third base. I'm assuming that's going to be for something like a Colossus drop or a Disruptor drop, is my guess. When you get a Robo Bay this quickly. Which could be good against people who make just Marines and don't make Marauders. Big thing I watch out for is Widow Mines. In this case, not going to go for a Widow Mines that quickly. He's just going to swap it over, get 2 Medivacs, which is actually going to work out pretty well for him if he doesn't warp in any. He's got, yep, Colossus drop on the way. And this would go very well for Warhawk if he wasn't chrono boosting. But with him chrono boosting, I think it's going to come down to timing. If he has like the Warp Prism here when Warhawk's dropping, he has to either recall or go for like a mini base trade where Warhawk kills all the probes on his main base, and then TheKyojin kills all of Warhawk's probes on his main base. Or all the workers on his main base. However, this is actually going to heavily favor TheKyojin, because he's just producing 2 probes at a time and Warhawk's not punishing it at all. And also, his Medivacs fell kind of late, but I don't think they were. He's not building an add-on here either, which is a pretty big mistake. He's also not building... He's building... Okay. The barracks placement is really weird. I thought he was still on 111, but he's not. Supply blocked himself as well. Was building a bunch of that once. Did see the observer, or actually moved just in range of the turret. He's got Warp Prism speed with Colossus. I've actually seen this build. Zest I saw do this build, and because it's so funky, it really can do well. Ooh, just barely out of Warhawk's vision. Oh, he's in the vision now. Oh, no, no, no. That could have been a very dumb play on his part. He's not going to the main, though. This is a big mistake. You should you should never put yourself on the low ground against Colossus. I mean, he can just drop on top of it. Because Colossus is a unit that does splash damage. So if he just splits up his Marines, he won't really lose to it. And the thing is, when you have a Warp Prism with speed, you should never try to, like, catch it. You should try to set up, like, a bit of a trap and split up your units a bit. He's sort of clumping up his units. And this is mostly just a distraction. He's getting 3 bases up. And the thing is, Warhawk hasn't scouted at all. Except for that Reaper. And as a result, he's massively behind right now. He's not scanned at all. He's not done any follow-up scouting. He literally knows nothing except the fact that he's got a Robo and a Robo Bay somewhere on the map. Like, he doesn't realize his opponent has a third, and he's double the amount of income right now. Also, wait, hold up a sec. How does he have no energy? He hasn't scanned at all, and I haven't seen a single mule until just now. Okay, there is a few more mules. He's also got 2 Vikings, but that's not really enough against this many Colossus. I feel like he thinks his opponent's on 2. He must be on 2 bases because he went for such an early Robo Bay. With, Colossus drop is expensive, but that's not the case. He just went for that and then macroed behind it. And I don't see a situation where he wins this because, okay, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. Even with big Widowmine hits, he's only got 2. That's not going to be enough. And he's almost got Storm as well. Or even is the Templar Archives. Hold up. Okay, there it is. It's not reaching it or searching anything. An engagement mid-map. He at least sees the army. Kills an Archon, but that's going to put on cooldown. He does scan now. He's not healing any units either. Second bunker definitely isn't a good idea, because not only can units not actually stim, you can actually control your units when they're in the bunker. But on top of that, another factor is that Colossus just outrange bunkers. If he had Storm here, this game would be pretty much dead. And another thing is that when you have the high ground ramp like this, especially when you have Widowmines there, you should really just have this as sort of a retreat position. You don't want to let them get a concave on you, especially when you know they have a Warp Prism and they could kind of pick you apart. He's not rallying at all, but it looks like it actually might help him with 2 Vikings and a Widowmine here. And he definitely needed that. He sent in 1 medevac away. I actually like that play, especially since he's so far behind economically. And he still doesn't realize this, and this is a big thing. Like, he shouldn't be scanning the army and muling, because by muling, he's actually putting himself massively behind economically because he doesn't know that he has to be punishing his opponent. If he has, say, like 4 bases muling, he still doesn't equal his opponent's economy here. He also, I don't think, he has a third base in the main base, but he's not really done anything with it because his opponent's just been controlling the pace of the game. Now, did he fly over this? He did. I don't know why. Okay, that's not really necessary. You got a base up here. I mean, sure, it's more vulnerable, but I mean, you're gonna overmine this base. So you might as well spread them out a bit. Yeah, he scans. He really needs to just go to a third base location. You know he's heading across the map, but you cannot defend on 2 base. That's the biggest issue. And another thing is that defending on 2 base isn't even an advantage. Like, he's walling himself in. That's not helpful when you're facing Colossus. Another factor is you actually want to send the actually, this is one of the things you can do. I've had this in games before. You want to send the Colossus forward and just kill and you want to send the Vikings forward and just kill the Colossus, because he's got no anti-air here. He's got 6 Stalkers and 5 Archons. Yeah, and again, he's just going to camp on 2 bases, but the thing is, his opponent doesn't need to attack, and he realizes that. And yeah, he's going to DT Shrine, and he does have a turret in each base. But I mean, what Warhawk is doing is, I mean, he's doing what he has to do to not die, but he's slowly losing via attrition. He needs something gigantic. At this point, I would say a nuke. Research that and get a nuke off. Because at this point, that's not even really going to do much with how many charge loss there are. He does have charge. I mean, if he didn't have charge, it could be one thing. He's got a bunch of Widow Mines, but he doesn't have enough units in front so he can easily bait away the Widow Mines. And a bunch of friendly fire as well. This should be game, especially since Warhawk isn't microing properly. If the Vikings kill the Colossus, this could be good. But I think the problem with so many people forget is that Vikings don't Vikings kill the Colossus, but that doesn't mean anything if the Colossus already shot like 6 times before it died. You need to kill the Colossus before they do their damage. And that's gonna be it. Warhawk. I mean, I warned him about this. I feel like Warhawk's good at microing, but he panics, he overreacts, and he doesn't make good decisions whatsoever. He didn't have any information on that game, and as a result, he put himself massively behind. So, a lot of mistakes on a lot of different players. I mean, this is going to turn into a much more cringy season than I expected. But, I mean, 3-4, not bad, especially given how many mistakes were made. And honestly, I probably would have made quite a few as well if I was playing against some cannon rushers and some Zerg players. So, I mean, I'm still jaw-dropped that Warhawk managed to come back in that TVZ. He really needed a bunch of miracle Widowmine hits. I mean, Widowmines really should be used more, especially if you're facing Linkbane Muta. So I hope you all enjoyed. 1-1, still not bad. I mean, if we won this, it would have been 2-0. Would have been a very good position. But hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week.